tomorrow I have my grandsons again. I love that. I love to be able to help them. They have wonderful neighbors and wonderful friends down here that have been great support to them. This is the middle son now that I'm speaking of, and his wife and their 2 little boys, and they have, like I said, have wonderful support and wonderful friends, and have had since they moved down in this area too. They've been down here 5 years. Whoops, sorry about that. The youngest son has been here about 10, I think, and they've been here 5. They moved down here just as, or very, very shortly after my daughter-in-law became pregnant with the first grandson. But it's just very nice to be able to be to help them whenever they need help with anything. And both of my grandsons have allergic asthma, and the youngest one already has been in intensive care for about 3 days, just since I've been down here, which you guys know I've only been down here for a couple of months, and he's already been in intensive care for his asthma, and so I was at least able to help Mommy with the other with his older brother. Like I said, they both have it, but the little one, the 2-year-old, seems to have it worse than the 4-year-old does. And yeah, it's just my son had that when he was young and growing up, and was, oh my goodness, it came right off of there. And he was in and out of the hospital, well, in the hospital at least probably twice a year, every year, until he was about 8 years old. So this was my second grandson, the little one. This was his first foray, I guess you could say, into the intensive care because of his asthma. And it was rough on his mommy and rough on him, and I was really glad. I feel blessed to be able to be down here to help them a little bit. You know, your friends are wonderful, and they are really stupendous friends that the kids have, but they, you know, it's not the same as family. You know, friends you feel maybe not as comfortable as asking them, even though I know that all their friends would not mind, and they did help out, but it was just nice to be able to be here to help her, and because Daddy at the time was in London for work, so he was unable to be around to help, you know, her, and it was difficult because she spent most of the time, well, all of the time, in the hospital with the baby. But I mean, he is fine. You know, he's fine now, and you know, it's just one of those things that he has, and they're going to have to just watch him and be exceedingly careful whenever he begins to show symptoms, so that they can get him to get him some help to be able to breathe, and he is on medication, and so, you know, that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. We're still very blessed because they're very healthy, and it actually could be, there are children that have things that are a lot worse than that. And though it is life-threatening and you have to really be careful, it is, he will end up growing out of it like my son did, and you know, be just fine. So anyway, that's the story about that. That kind of has gone on since I've been down here already. There's my little branch for my little owl. I think you can see it, yeah. And it looks kind of neat with that lace on over the purple, the metallic purple. I'm going to put the little owl on here now. It's been very eventful since I've moved down here. I'm quite busy all the time, a lot more busy than I ever was at home, and finding my way around to different things like the groceries, and you know, and of course I told you, I found my way right away to AC Moore and Michael's. And then there's a Joann Fabrics. Now I will admit I haven't been to that yet, but I'm going. So I think I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. I think it's a little bit too long. So what I'm going to do is just start on one end and kind of go around. And like I said, enjoying my grandsons and my daughters-in-law and sons. They're amazing and have been very, very supportive and helpful to me. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut out one of these cobwebs and put it on here. Let's see what we have with this fabric. Let's see what I can do with this, maybe. It's kind of cute, isn't it? It's got little skeleton heads, and some pumpkins. It says Happy Halloween and Trick or Treat. It's kind of cute. Maybe if I just kind of cut a square out and kind of just lay it down. Let's see. Yeah, maybe I can do that. Let's try that one. Let's see if I can fray it around the edges, and we'll just put it down on there. We're not going to be real picky about it being even or anything of that nature. Oh, there's little bats on here too. Bats in my belfry. Wonder wherever that saying came from. I have no idea. If you know where the saying bats in your belfry came from, let me know. So what I'm going to do, this is material is, I think, easily frayed, so I'm going to go around and, as you can see here, and just fray the edges of it, pull the threads out and put them over here so they can get into my glue gun. And see if I can get it to fray all the way around. Sometimes it'll fray real good for you on one side of the material and then not the other because of the way the grain of the fabric goes, but this one looks like it'll fray for me going both ways. See what can you tell what I'm doing here? Oh, the lighting. I don't know how the lighting's going to be on this video. I'm so sorry. Gotta figure that out. I'll get it. I need some way to fix up an overhead light. But since I don't have a craft room and I just have a craft area that happens to be right in the middle of my living room, well, not in the middle, but you know, it is in my living room, I have to, you know, keep things fairly cleaned up most of the time, unless I'm working on a project. It isn't that I have company in or whatever all the time. It isn't that, but it does look quite cluttered if I don't, you know, keep things straightened up. It's a very tiny place, but I do like it. I like it very much. And I've gotten rid of a lot of things that I did bring with me that I just found, you know, I don't really need all that stuff. Of course, the things that I got rid of were not my craft things. Those are necessities. I have to have those. So those aren't the things that I got rid of, but I did get rid of some things that that I brought with me that I just really didn't have room for, and I had actually gotten rid of tons of things before I even, you know, packed anything from home. So and you would have thought I came from a really big house or something like that, but I truly didn't. It was an apartment also, but it was you know, comparatively it was quite a bit bigger than this one. But like I said, I do love this little place. It's very homey and very cute, and I really like it. So there, now we've got kind of a little bit of a tattered piece of little pumpkin there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him down onto this. I'm not gonna even do it straight. I think I'm just gonna put him down like that. Let's see here. Get some hot glue down that's not gonna bump up and make great big huge bumps. I think I can manage that. Oh, I've got some exciting news. I was telling you all about my little needle cap thing, or whatever it's called, no clog writing cap thing, and I got that. But the best part is I finally got now I'm not going to be able to speak again. I finally got a jelly plate. Yay! I am so excited to have used them, and and remind myself, how to do things and so on. And I actually am so tickled and excited about getting that. Okay, now I can add this little cat down here on this one. That would be kind of cute, wouldn't it? I'll turn it around so you can see it right side up. I could put the little kitty cat down there on that one. And maybe I can make a little bow or something to put up in this corner, or some bling or something like that. I don't know. My daughter-in-law's is not going to look like the one I made, but that's all right. I hope hers, sometimes, well, it just depends, but sometimes when you're working on a project and you do it again, the second time is usually easier and better. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, but most of the time it does. And so I'm hoping hers that comes out better and cuter than mine. And okay, so now we have one more of the raised up ones to do, And I really like this little ghost. Isn't he cute? And I could put down some bat material behind him. Some of this that looks like no, you know what I think I'll do? I think I will cut out one of the I'll cut out one of the cobwebs. So let me get this piece of chiffon-y type material over here and see about where I can find one of the cobwebs that was the nicest shape to cut out. Okay, I see one right here that that I think I can snip around and it'll kind of come out kind of cute. So I had to see where I'm cutting here. Let's try that. My youngest son and I were talking about snakes today when I was visiting, because there were snakes that were seen here near my apartment. I don't know whether I don't think it was, because I think it was before the storm even hit, that they said they had seen some snakes, and they have poisonous snakes down here. We did have poisonous snakes up north where I lived before, but they were not near where I was. But I have just enough, I guess you could say, wooded area or whatever around here that that they saw a couple, and they were quite certain that they were poisonous. So I was thinking, oh dear, I really don't want to run across one of those, you know, on my little back patio. I really don't. There are little tiny green tree frogs that live near here, and they're all the time on my back patio, and they're just so cute. I'm not squeamish about things like that. I don't particularly like them to come up on me unexpectedly. I'm not really. I do have a very strong aversion to spiders, however, and spiders, especially, there are spiders here that are, we have brown recluse and black widow both here, and so yeah, those I'm not real keen on meeting up with, if any are nearby. So I'm trying not to pat that glue. I should have put this on maybe with white glue, but I'm trying not to pat the glue down so that it gets, you know how it does, it'll get white if you touch it too much. So I don't want to do that. I want it to be clear. So I'm trying not to touch it too much. And now I've got strands stuck over here. Oof. Oh boy, wouldn't it be something if you could invent glue sticks or some kind of hot glue that did not do that? Wouldn't that be awesome? Boy, I think that person would be set for life if they could accomplish that. What was I gonna put on here? This little ghost, I think, maybe. Yeah, that kind of looks cute like that. And then I have my little daughter-in-law, the one that's crazy for Halloween, and my son, her husband is my oldest, and they still live up north. Not for me, not for lack of me trying to get them to move down here. They still live up north. My son's a welder, the oldest one, and his his work would not, I mean, he would have had to take a huge cut in pay to come down to this area. My daughter-in-law really wanted to come down here with the rest of us, but and he did too, I think, but they just couldn't see their way clear to take that kind of a hit in wages to move down this way. So there's the little ghost and the, where is he? There's the little ghosts and the cobweb. I might have to put a couple little bling on here because the glue is still, you can see the glue a little bit, which drives me insane. I should have used white glue there, but it's alright, we'll get it. We'll get it.